Hey everybody, this is Tanner Mulvihill over at Bayfield Home Loans, and I'm joined today by homeowner and realtor extraordinaire in Embrey Mill, Ann Marley Green. Ann, how are you today?
I am doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm so excited because we're getting ready for the spring market and we're keeping the folks of Embrey Mill updated on what's going on. So we have three winners that we're going to talk about today. So let me go and get these pulled up for us, and then let's go ahead. All right, so the first one that we're going to chat about is 519 Apricot Street. So this one is just hit the market. What's going on?
Yep, it's been on the market 2 days as of recording today.
Okay.
And we are seeing a lot more homes start to come on the market.
Yes.
But this is just a great example of little updates that I think you could do to your home that just make it show so well when you go to sell. I will say it a million times over, but I am a big believer in smart and classic updates. So this one you can see that just has a lot of woodworking throughout it. And then of course, beautiful kitchen updates and flooring.
Yeah, let's get to the kitchen for the folks so they can take a look. Oh man, you gotta love that open floor plan. They got the bump out over there with the dining room area, and then the beautiful kitchen. Yeah, I can definitely see that this is not going to be on the market much longer, and we'll be talking about this one next month. But beautiful house, and I think the price point was really good as well. What's the size like? As far as how big is this model and for your standard Embrey Mill?
Yeah, so this is one of the bigger models in Embrey Mill, and it is in phase one. So phase one, I don't want to say we typically see the smaller floor plans, but obviously the neighborhood has been under construction for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Phase one, of course, being the first phase. So some of the models, that the neighborhood started with, we don't see trickling on into phase two, phase three. I believe this is one of those circumstances. It's one of the fewer versions of this model that we see in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
It is a large floor plan, and really, in my opinion, in one of the best locations in the neighborhood, just because you can kind of see there, it backs a little bit to a tree buffer, but it's still in phase one and very close to a lot of the amenities.
I mean, when you talked about the finishing touches that they did on this, we just went over some shiplap. We just saw some tray ceilings at this price point. I mean, and with the size, that is just awesome. So, I mean, every one of these rooms, somebody has some really nice flourishes that they put on it. So I'm sure they will be going probably over, I would think, once it really starts showing. And I think I saw that it has an open house coming up. So, good on them. Beautiful house. And that one's going to go quick. It's good when, Ann, there was 102 pictures that they were able to post on there.
Yep. I am a big believer in getting a good professional photographer when you list a house. I just think it makes all the difference online.
Yep.
And really highlights all those beautiful updates that you put all that money and work into in your house. So
exactly. So, I mean, for the folks out there listening, can you give me an idea, and the folks that are listening, when you are taking a listing in Embrey Mill, and if they're, they should always use you, but in the event they don't, what are pictures going for a house this size these days?
Yeah, so I don't know what other listing agents do. I always cover the cost of all the multimedia. It's just I pay it up front, and then my commission just kind of pays me back on the back end.
Right.
But for my listings, I will always do professional photography, a 3D walkthrough. Sometimes we'll do videos and drones, just depending on what the property is like. It costs us probably close to $1,000 all in to get that done, which sounds expensive, and it is. But to me, that is one of my non-negotiables when selling a house. I will not put it in the MLS unless we have the professional photos already in hand.
Right. And I mean, it makes such a huge difference. And every so often you and I come across one. I remember we were looking one a while back, and I think it was like the model home. I mean, it was the one that crossed $1 million, and it didn't look like it was quite the professional photos that I know you would do. So it is something that if you're getting ready to list your house coming up this year, you need to be calling Ann. That's an expense you're not going to have. And that's part of Ann's package. So I'm excited to see how many listings you're going to be getting in the neighborhood this year. But kudos to these guys. This house, without professional photos, I think they would have been okay on this one. It was pretty good.
I agree. They did great.
So, all right. Well, next one we're going to take a look at here is going to be active under contract, and that is 448 Gladolia Way. Did I nail it that time? I know I've had some problems with. Okay, good. Normally need your help on that, but if I hear it 50 times, I might get it. So on this particular property, this is active under contract. What was the time frame of how long did this stick on the market? I mean, we're looking at snow in the pictures, so it was that time of year when it hit.
Yep. Yeah. So this was only on the market for 16 days. So just over 2 weeks, which is pretty quick in this
Yeah.
neighborhood just because we are at the higher price point. But it looked like they had multiple offers maybe in on it because I did see that there was an offer deadline posted in the MLS, which usually means that they had a lot of people coming through. And this one I think is interesting because it looks like they may have gutted the kitchen or did updates to the condition
Wow.
to the kitchen that were not, I mean, this is not a standard builder grade, what you would have normally gotten in Embrey Mill for your
Right.
selections when you built a house. So that's me making wild assumptions. But you can see it looks like they've done some very personalized updates to the kitchen, which can obviously go one of two ways. You know, either it's going to be very appealing to the broad public, which I think this one was, or I've seen very personalized updates, very personalized. So
Right.
it may be a smaller buyer pool, looking at that house just because of some of the things they've done. But this one is just very interesting to me to see, the little changes they did to make it theirs.
It's interesting because, like you said, that's not going to appeal to everybody. But I liked that kitchen, and I think if I looked at 6 or 7 houses and they were all kind of standard, and I went and looked at some new construction, and I saw that one with the wine fridge and the different colors, that's really cool. Good on them for going under contract 16 days, and the time frame of when this would have hit. They listed it in January, and we had some weather issues and stuff like that for January. So I'm confident that we'll be talking about that one next month as a closed. So let's go ahead and go back and let's take a look at the last one we're going to talk about, because you and I have been keeping our eye on this one. So let's make sure I get the right way back. Okay, so now the last one we're going to talk about, and this one's caught both of our eyes. And go ahead and give us the rundown on why this property in Embrey Mill at 609 was such an interesting one for you and I.
Yeah, so we talked about this in our update last month when it had just hit the market. It is in the 55 and older section, Cascades, over in phase 3. It's one of the first resales of these, 55 and older townhomes. I think it's just about perfect inside, which I think I gushed on it a lot last time. But they just did a ton of upgrades to it. It really does not feel like a townhome. It feels like a single family home.
Yeah.
And it obviously worked because it was only on the market for 7 days and has already closed just in the time between now and our last video.
Wow, 7 days on the market, already went to close. Pretty interesting. I wonder if somebody moved in there, maybe paid some cash, or maybe they got a loan. But it's a great looking house and such an opportunity for new buyers, because it's going to take a while to build out a 55 plus home. It's also, like you said, they're not a lot popping up on the market right now. So we have this conversation in 3 years. We'll probably have seen a number of them, but one of the very first ones. I mean, that's awesome for the buyers.
Yeah, no, I am excited to have new neighbors always.
That's right. That's right. So as we wrap it up for the folks in Embrey Mill, you and I are recording this at the beginning of February, and it's going to be a huge market, March, April, May, June. Now, if they're out there thinking about listing their house, they need to be calling you right now, right, to get this ready.
Yep, I would say sooner rather than later, start making those phone calls, make a plan for when you want the home to get listed. If you are someone in Embrey Mill and you do have young children, highly recommend trying to target it for spring break week so that you can, if you're getting out of here, get the house ready one time, clean, ready for showings. You go on vacation, we get the house under contract while you're gone, and then you get to miss all the ugly, unfun parts of, having to skedaddle out of the house every time.
That's right. That's right. And then waiting, are they gone yet? No, they're not gone yet. They're still looking and things like that. Well, I did want to say before we go, congratulations again on your top producer status for 2024. The folks that don't know, Ann is one of the top producing agents in Stafford County. And Ann, it's such a pleasure having you on the show and you bringing the knowledge of Embrey Mill.
Thank you so much always for having me and for saying that. And I enjoy doing these every month. So thank you for having me on.
You bet. We'll see everybody next month.
All right, bye.